Here is the summary for week 5 on our wellness journey here, 2017. I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And it's all about consciousness with me, right? I don't think being unconscious in our life is a good thing. The real power of who we are as humans is our consciousness. So as you join me in engaging consciously in promoting wellness in our body, which means we have to know what our body's doing, get to know ourselves, and so we do that. We've been doing that through breath. And this week we transitioned between the respiratory system into the fluid system of the blood and lymph, and here's where we really make a crossover in our skills of consciousness, and hopefully you've made that journey with me and made that transition fairly easily, okay? So we're going from the respiratory system, which is very easy to feel. I breathe in the respiratory system and I can imagine things happening in there. Now we go into breathing into the blood and journeying through the blood to the rest of the body. So this is no longer a simple physical connection. I'm actually having to journey imagination-wise and imagine and feel my energy and feel the flow of the tissues, of the blood tissues moving through the body. So it's if you've made this transition, this is a really important transition to go into the rest of the body, because if we can access the fluid system consciously, if we can become aware of that, we have access to every tissue in the body, all the way down at the cellular level. We even have access to our DNA. Okay, so let's see what we did this week. And again, like I said, we transitioned, we finished up the respiratory system and started transitioning into the blood and lymph. So the first day, we worked working on the exhale. Didn't do a lot of work on the exhale in the previous month for the beginning of the month. And here's where the exhale, as we know in the breath, is designed to let go or release. Okay, and it's obvious that one of the toxins, and carbon dioxide could be considered a toxin. One of the toxins we're releasing is carbon dioxide, but there are other toxins that come out through the respiratory system. So using the exhale to pull out and draw out and let go of these aromatic toxins that we get exposed to, and boy, there are lots of them, okay? Not only do we have the formaldehyde and outgassing of our construction material around us. If you get a new car, a new paint, new carpet, dry cleaning, all these, there are, and then fragrances, the synthetic fragrances, which we've been pounding on all month to get rid of. So these are aromatic toxins that are coming in. They penetrate into the tissue. We have things that come in through our skin if we get exposed to. We've got personal care products, which we're going to pound away a little bit more this month on here in February. And so as these are chemicals and alcohols, and nail polish and makeup and different things that have chemical solvents and things that are going to move through our body, get trapped in the lymph. And here's an opportunity for us to use the exhale to get those out, okay? So one of the things that we do to start that process is to activate the lungs. And so we come back in, we know we've been doing a listening breath and then an actioning breath, or a connecting breath and an action breath. So I would breathe in, really feel the vitality coming in, really feel the energy coming in to activate the lungs, make sure they're healthy and ready to go, because when we bring toxins out, they can actually be nasty toxins. So we're going to activate the lungs, feel the lung tissue be dynamic and healthy. We know we've in the last week, the week before, we breathed mucus, helping the movement of the mucus clear, and these was clearing out, dust particles, mold spores, all those things that come in. They get trapped in the mucus; those come up and out. So now we're moving into more of the release of these toxins out of the body tissues. So as I breathe in, activate my lungs, and now I'm going to breathe in scrubby bubbles. Maybe start to feel how those will go all the way through the body and start to pull. Now on an exhale, the exhale pulls toxins out of the head, toxins out of the arms, and blows them out. And then next exhale, out of the abdomen, toxins coming up and out. And then legs. Breathe in that vitality. Breathe out, pulling toxins out of the lymph and the blood and the tissues, okay, and that's coming out through the lungs. This is very powerful to create a cleansing response. Our body responds to our consciousness, whether we like it or not. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But so that was the first part, or the last part, first part of the week, last part of the respiratory system. And then we talked about a little bit addressing the issue of essential oils as supplements. So I kind of took a little bit of an opportunity there because we've had some questions or some concerns about, you're talking about taking these oils internally. I never heard about that, or I hear the other thing is that people shouldn't be taking these internally. So I make it very clear in that video that we take in essential oils as supplements. If you drink an herbal tea, then you are getting some essential oils in that tea. So it's absolutely absurd to say we absolutely should not eat essential oils as supplements. It would be just the same if 1 drop of peppermint oil is the equivalent of somewhere around 26 cups of peppermint tea. Someone had made a calculation of that. And so basically, you might say, well, I would never want to drink a gallon of peppermint tea. Well, would it hurt you to do that? And the question is those essential oil molecules, if I took a whole drop of peppermint, would that be bad? And there's a lot of confusion out there, people talking on the internet. I don't understand why they say it this way, because it doesn't make any sense. But they say, oh, well, it's only used in parts per million, 1 part per million, 2 parts per million, and that's just not true. The safety data does not suggest that things have to be done in that dilution. In fact, the safety data for something like lemon oil is all the way up to 15 grams in a day for a human, and with very little side effects. So there may be issues where people are getting hurt with essential oils, taking them internally, or I would guess they would even be getting hurt with them, putting them on the skin or inhaling them because they're bad quality. Okay, and we've already talked a lot about quality and getting rid of synthetic fragrances. So if you're working with a synthetic fragrance, you don't want it at all, okay? But if you're working with a true essential oil that comes out of the plant, and we know that we are with the Young Living's Vitality line, well, all of Young Living's oils are true and coming from a plant, but we have the Vitality line with Young Living that helps us identify, okay, these are definitely ones that are used as supplements and we can take internally. So that's the Vitality line for Young Living. So don't worry about don't let anyone discourage you from exploring the use of essential oils as supplements. And they are amazing supplements, what they do, because we know as we take a supplement, we want that to go into our body. And so that supplement starts to absorb into the mouth. Buccal cavity absorption is definitely something that starts with digestion. The sugar starts absorbing in the mouth. So it's not a surprise that we can actually start to feel essential oils as we put them in our water, come into our tissue and start to penetrate into the bloodstream. And that's a good thing because the essential oils have an amazing property of being fat soluble. They move through the membranes of the body. The cell membrane around every cell is made of fat. Every nucleus inside the cell is made of fat. So this fat tissue gets stiff from our toxic oxidized world, and when the membrane gets oxidized, and this is like partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which is why I've been pounding away at getting rid of partially hydrogenated vegetable oil as a primary thing, because your membrane system will get stiffened up in the presence of that. It will block absorption and transport of material across your digestive system and across cells in general. So it's critical that we get rid of that partially hydrogenated vegetable oil. But now that we have a stiff membrane, what do? How do we get back to being having healthy membrane fluidity? Okay, and so this healthy membrane fluidity, in order to maintain healthy membrane fluidity, that's where essential oils come in, right? We can come in. They have antioxidant properties. They're fat soluble, and they help to mobilize membranes. So they will come back in and keep those membranes fluid, keep them moving so that they can have communication. This is basic cellular functions, okay? I don't think there's anything else in the arsenal, in our nutritional arsenal, that can do what essential oils do. So absolutely, especially in our toxic world, this is more important than ever that we engage and start to expose our bodies to essential oils, especially as supplements daily, okay? This is daily. All right, so that was something that just was clarified. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with the respiratory system per se, but we used an opportunity to clarify that. And then we went into exploring now into the body, the fluid, the body system, the fluid system of the body, the blood and lymph, okay? And it's an easy journey. As we breathe in, where does the oxygen go? Into the blood. So we just follow that blood And we recognize that the blood is, mechanically it goes inside the circulatory system, which is the tubes, the cardiovascular system, sorry. The circulatory system is the blood and lymph. The cardiovascular system is the actual tubes that it goes through. And so the vascular system is, the blood goes from the lungs to the heart out to the body back to the heart back to the lungs. And so we can follow that as we breathe into that and follow all through that, and we can get to know the circulation. And here's where we actually start to use a different set of imagery. I was engaging in the imagery of an orchestra, and so listen to the orchestra, the music of my circulatory system, and to help direct it if I feel like the sound. So if you're someone who hasn't been relating to my visual images, I went through doing some auditory images of the orchestra of our body, the music of our body. And this is something you could use in any context, right? If you were doing emotional work and trying to work out, if you're just going into any body tissue and you say, I want to listen to the music of my eyeball, you could do that, and you could use that image, just like you could use the calm water or the rose bush or any other images we've been using. It's just a way for the imagination to engage, because the consciousness it doesn't know, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a movie and an image in a movie that you're watching and the real thing. In other words, it's got information coming in, you're looking around the room, and that's real. Well, when you watch a screen, or whether that screen is your imagination, you're putting an image on there, or whether it's literally a TV screen, you don't know the difference. The subconscious does not know the difference. So that's why we haven't talked about this, but you really want to watch out what kind of violence you watch on TV, what kind of stuff that you expose yourself to, and certainly your children, because in the video games and all the rest of that, because those images, the brain does not recognize that it's not real. It assumes that it's real, and it responds that way. So if you have more stress than you want in your life, then look at getting rid of the violence that you're inputting in. And this becomes something that we talked a lot about now this week as the fluid system. The fluid system is susceptible to information. Okay, the water will pick up information. The question is, what information am I bringing in? Am I conscious about that information, or am I just letting whatever come in, come along? And so this is really a big part of how powerful water is that water has that ability to collect information and respond energetically to its surrounding field. Well, we have a field around us, the literally electromagnetic field. We have an aura, we have a heat shield, we have a field around us. I'm not talking about necessarily some aura, although there is an aura. What I'm saying is this aura is a physical phenomena that is measurable by science. Okay, so we're not talking about something weird. This is just the way it is. Now that physical aura is what patterns the water that comes in. So we can be conscious about our water when we drink our water, and we can invite the energies we want in there. So if my morning water can get a little more sophisticated, so rather than just drink it glug, 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 I can actually breathe in and harmonize that water for the purpose of hydrating my tissues or cleansing or whatever, and I can start using that my consciousness to participate with the breathing and start to work with the energies and frequencies of the water in that I'm drinking, and then of course the water in my body. And here's where essential oils can help us with those things. And it's just an amazing process of this journey into the fluid system. So that's basically, I didn't go through every one of those, but that's basically in a nutshell how we started off with the fluid system, is really feeling how the blood moves, how the lymph moves, and then talking about how that will pick up this information. And we'll carry that on for the rest of the month. We're going to be doing next week, or the actual physical, some exercises to pump the lymph. We're going to talk more about the supplement program that we've got coming up. So we've got a lot going on. Join us next week. I hope this has been a journey of consciousness and hope and encouragement that you can make a difference. You are making a difference in your health, whether it's for positive or negative. So how you control your mind in this is going to make a big difference to the outcome, okay? So happy wellness. Join us next week. Tell your friends. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, or check us out on our YouTube channel. If you're coming into this just new, you want to go to the YouTube channel, Minke Wellness, and check out the playlists. And then all the videos are listed by week, okay? I know it's confusing on the Facebook page. All right. Happy wellness.